Today's verse is the verse that's at the heart of my sermon. It's the sixth I am saying of Jesus from John chapter 14, verse 6, where Jesus says, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Jesus is saying a lot in this one verse. First of all, saying, I am the way. Now, throughout much of the Bible, there is this contrast between two ways. We see it in Psalm 1, which will be part of our worship service today. We see it in the prophets. We see it in Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, between the broad way that leads to destruction and the narrow way that leads to life. And here Jesus is saying something even more significant. I am the way. So in other words, the way I live, the way I am, is the way that you are to be as my follower. And it's interesting that Christianity was first known as the way, because it was a way of life trying to live fully after the manner in which Jesus lived. Jesus also says, I am the truth. There is nothing false in Jesus. He is true. He has integrity. His word can be trusted and believed, and we know it can be counted on. And we live in an age when truth, tragically, is becoming less and less important. And we can't have a functioning society. We can't have a functioning government. We can't have a functioning country if we can't even agree on what is true or not, or when truth has been so devalued that people can just lie and it's not confronted, it's not repudiated, it's not refuted. Jesus is the truth. You can count on him and what he says. Jesus is also the life. And I'll be sharing in my sermon today about how frequently that word appears in John's gospel. Because what Jesus comes to give us is life in all its fullness. Perhaps the most difficult part of this verse is the idea when Jesus says, no one comes to the Father except through me. That statement may raise a lot of questions, or at least some very profound questions for many of us if we think about it. I'll be trying to address some of those questions in my sermon today, so I hope you'll be able to tune in. I am the way, the truth, and the life. What a significant statement that Jesus makes. You'll need to tune in to worship to get the fuller version.